Okay, what are we up to today? Well, I've had to take a break from repairing evacuees equipment. In fact, we have an evacuee staying with us, and that's incurring repairs in itself. Anyway, I'm taking a break and taking a little bit of stress off because I am stressed out and I can't walk and MS has flared up. So, my phone case has been tattered and damaged and everything, and I'm using my phone to film at the moment. Now, the current one that's on it that you can't see is made from MDF. So today I took the same designs, but I cut them out of clear acrylic, and I'm going to put everything together with super glue. I've also got a fresh bunch of threaded inserts that I'm going to try and heat set in here with a soldering iron. And I still haven't put my workbench back together yet from going to do repairs, and so I'm going to have to focus a little bit on that in the meantime. And I have the hiccups. Perfect timing. So yeah, I'm going to try and assemble this tonight and see how we go. The one thing I've realized is that if I put a piece of tape over the back, I'm going to see it through the acrylic, but yeah, and I can't use aluminium tape and make it look pretty. That'll mess up the RF. Only just thought about that looking at this, but anyway, we'll build it all the same. And yeah, so we'll do a bit of satisfying time lapse in a minute of me peeling all this paper off and prepping all of this stuff. Okay, we've got everything stripped off, and I'll apologise yet again for the fan noise, but I really need that air flowing. Now, because I have a return address engraved onto this, I'm covered it up with some tape, just to avoid any further blurring like I had to do in the earlier footage. I got some of this tape off. I've got all the tape pieces nicely removed, and now I need to sit this over on the correct side. There's still a few little tape pieces to be removed. But this stuff is really great. These little soft phone removal tools or pry tools you get with phone screens, really, really handy. And I got quite a number of those from Tinkerman Mick. Now I need to just arrange these all in the correct order. So I believe that is the bottommost one. Then there's a gap here for a microphone port, and then this one continues with a port for a second layer. So I'm going to get some screws and get these positioned, and I'll get some blue tack as well. And then we're going to use some good Loctite super glue. Where are we? Way over here. My camera angle's a bit out. I'll fix all that up in a minute. So I'm going to get everything prepped, get the screws out, and then we'll start gluing, and I'll probably do that time lapse as well. I've just gone to set everything together, and I realised I've skipped one thing. I need to put the threaded inserts in first, and that will require a soldering iron. And I'll show you exactly how in a moment. So I need to find threaded inserts, which are hiding away in this other screw kit that I prepared earlier. So the idea here is to put a threaded insert. Oh, we've got screws over here. We put one of these threaded inserts here on a screw, and we'll put it in position and then heat it with a soldering iron until the threaded insert sits in flush. Normally with MDF I would hammer them in. With acrylic it's a bit brittle, so we need to heat it. Crucially, this is new acrylic, so it's a little more forgiving. Let's get set up for that. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the soldering iron to warm up. I've got our threaded inserts set in. While I was waiting for the iron to warm up, I was watching a video by a a YouTube channel called Fact Fiend with Carl Smallwood. Now, talking about the UK's TV licenses and how they think it's utter BS that they have vans that can see what's going on in your picture and determine what room it's in. Well, actually, that's entirely possible because CRTs particularly, but to a lesser extent LCDs, they put off a huge amount of radio frequency interference, and you can derive the picture on the screen from that interference. And on top of that, you can tell what direction it's coming from, and having an average power reading of most TVs, you can probably determine the distance. So that is entirely possible to do. Oh, I might have to take a different approach with this. No, it is getting soft. I've just got to be patient. Right, whoop. The last little bit goes in very quickly, and that is very hot. I think I'll wait for it to cool off. Or I'll grab the pliers that I prepared earlier and just straighten that up. So that's our threaded insert set in there. I got distracted by yabbering about YouTubers that I think are wrong about stuff. I think I'm going to put my extraction fan on for this, and I'm going to turn the main fan on. So I'm going to get the rest of these done off camera, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, we're about at the point where we need to start adding glue, and it's also the point where things get noisy. So because we need to keep the air moving and the fumes extracted. So over the top of the camera where you can't see, which is in this direction, I'm turning on my outlet fan, and it might make a funny buzzing sound because there's some tape stuck very close to the fan blades. Alright, I think I'm just not going to mess with it, I'll deal with the sound. Now, I'm checking my thing here, which is upside down, the base of my phone case, that's what I'm making. And I'm getting my hands in the way of the lens here. So, I'm flipping this up the correct way. Now, I'm taking a moment to check what's going on, and I'm looking at the case that I'm using at the moment, that my phone is wearing, that's what I was going to say. And I'm checking that all these are flush and aren't going to impinge on the glue. Now that should be the correct way, and we have the correct one there. Now, I am going to put a screw in one end for a start to help locate things. And that means I can move it and swing it away and put a little bit of glue under that side. So we are going to very sparingly add some glue, and we're going to change our camera angle slightly. Very sparingly going to add super glue, and from here there is no return. And I probably don't need nearly as much as I'm putting on here. Sorry if my hand is in the way. I need to work somewhat quickly. The air is quite humid tonight, which is actually ideal for super glue, as the moisture in the air is actually helps it set. Okay, so we've got some dobs of super glue here. Oh, and I need a few more down in this side. I'll do all this just carefully. I believe that's about as far as we need to go there. Now I'm going to carefully position this. I'm going to hold it up in the air here, and I'm going to drop it down with a couple of screws to help locate everything, and also to keep the excess glue out of the holes. And I've just dropped the screw on the floor, but this is why I had spares. I'm going to push all this together, and I'm going to hold some pressure onto it for a little bit. I should have probably found a way to clamp this. But anyway, once this bonds, to start with, I'll wick a little bit more glue into each layer. So we'll come back to the moment where this is set. Okay, so much has happened since you last saw this. I had about 4 hours of conversation. It's now midnight. So we're going to jump forward quite a bit in the design here. So I managed to glue together all the sides, which were these pieces here and these 3 here. I've used super glue. In the process of test fitting, we did suffer some cracks in this section, which because of its laminated design aren't too critical, and I'm pretty much going to drop a bit of super glue in there and leave it that way. Our phone will insert into this, and then these two little locking bits will go over the top. It probably shouldn't mess with the proximity sensor as much as the wood did, and we can get away with the ugly laser burn in the other one, which I should have shown you, but the screen protector on this phone still has a laser burn, so if you want to replace that, I'll show you guys. It is way late. Anyway, this tape looks a bit ugly, so maybe in the morning I'll cut a nice coloured piece of cardboard or something to put in here. And this is mostly in here just to stop these threaded inserts from scratching the glass back of the phone, or worse, cracking it. And all of this stuff is still mostly readable. So I'm going to assemble this and put it together, and maybe a quick little bit of a sand along the side here to take some of the glue edge off, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So this has been a YouTube quickie, or an Aussie Repair Guy quickie. We'll hopefully see you in a bigger one soon.